the Native Americans don't just passively accept their fate with the Indian Removal Act. In fact, we take a look at two particular groups to see how they fought and resisted against this encroachment on their basic humanity. The first is here, the Seminoles. The Seminoles were in Florida, and we can remember, hopefully, that Jackson had a run-in with the Seminoles when he had invaded their territory in Florida in the early 1810s, mid-1810s, so that, and eventually leading to the capture of Florida, and it became part of our country. The Seminoles, after the Indian Removal Act was passed, resisted for over 8 years. They committed guerrilla warfare in the Florida Everglades, trying to resist this encroachment on their territory and on their humanity. There's going to be 1,500 killed on both sides. And it's going to be, it's not until the 1930s that the Seminoles officially give up the fight. In Georgia, North Georgia, we have the Cherokee. Now, their fight's going to be a legal fight because according to treaties that were signed by past presidents, the Cherokee in Georgia were considered an independent nation, and Georgia had no legal authority over them. And what ends up happening is once the Indian Removal Act is signed and passed by Jackson and the Congress, Georgia starts trying to pass laws to control those Cherokee in northern Georgia. Now, the Cherokee in Georgia had attempted to assimilate. They tended to run plantations. They dressed in white fashion. They were living on the land as white farmers would. And in fact, many of them in that territory even had enslaved Africans, which obviously is not a good thing. But we can see that all of those attempts to assimilate mean nothing because the white population wanted that valuable cotton production area. And then when they found gold in northern Georgia, that also pushed them even further. Georgia tries to control the Cherokee, and there's two court cases. The first one gets thrown out on a technicality, but the second one that we need to know is Worcester versus Georgia. And in this court case, the Supreme Court affirms that the Cherokee had an absolute right to the land and that Georgia had no ability to control them legally. And when that decision is handed down, Jackson famously says, the court has made their decision, now let's see them enforce it. So he defies the Supreme Court and immediately, once he has indicated that, Georgia starts passing laws to try to force the Cherokee off. Eventually, the Cherokee are going to be put on the Trail of Tears and moved to Oklahoma, along with all the other Native Americans along the path. There's a little bit of treachery involved here. There is a Treaty of New Echota in which a minority group that represented a very small fraction of the Native American Cherokee signed this treaty saying that they would be willing to leave. And that means that the rest of the 90% or so that didn't sign that treaty or were not impacted by it had to leave. And this is the Trail of Tears right here. The orange areas are the Native Americans moving to Oklahoma right here.